Okay, let's just jump right in. There is a massive shift happening right now, and it's creating two completely different parallel worlds of work. By 2026, the gap between people who just use AI and those who actually architect it is going to be enormous. Think of this as your personal map to make sure you land on the right side of that divide. So picture this. In one world, you've got people who are still operating like it's 2020. They are literally drowning in spreadsheets, trying to manage 15 different browser tabs. It's all manual. But in the other world, you've got individuals and whole teams shipping products 3 times faster, running entire businesses with autonomous AI teams, and get this, crushing projects that used to take 2 months in a single weekend. And I want to be clear, this isn't some far-off prediction. This is happening right now. So here's the question you really got to ask yourself. Which of these worlds are you building right now? Because in this new reality, standing still is actually the fastest way to get left behind. That gap is getting wider every single day. So let's get right to the heart of it. For most people, the problem isn't that they lack the technical skills. No, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what these AI tools are actually capable of. It's all about making that leap from just being a passive user to becoming an active architect. Think about it like this. Right now, most people use AI like it's a calculator. A very fancy one, sure, but still just a calculator. You punch in a question, you get an answer, you give it an input, it spits out an output, it's totally reactive, it's a one and done kind of thing, and that is precisely what's holding so many people back. This quote just nails it. Using these incredibly powerful AI models just to, write a basic email or summarize an article, it's literally like using a Ferrari to make a quick trip to the grocery store. You're missing out on almost all of its horsepower. The real game changer happens when you stop driving and let the machine drive itself. And that's where AI agents come in. See, an agent isn't just a chatbot. It's a whole system. It has a brain, that's the large language model, that lets it reason and plan. It has memory, so it can learn and remember things. And most importantly, it has tools, things like APIs, that let it take real actions out in the world to achieve a goal you've given it. This slide lays out the difference perfectly. A chatbot is reactive. It just sits there and waits for your questions. An agent, on the other hand, is proactive. You don't give it a task, you give it a goal, a big picture objective. It then goes and figures out the steps, chooses the right tools, and executes the entire plan on its own. This right here is the shift from user to orchestrator. So you're probably thinking, how do I make this jump without being some senior software engineer? Well, the best part is, the tools are already here. Let's walk through the 2026 AI stack that lets literally anyone start building and orchestrating today, and you don't need to write a single line of code. Okay, step 1 is you have to upgrade your own personal operating system. Stop typing everything and start flowing. Use transcription tools to capture ideas as fast as you can think them. Have an AI research assistant briefing you on key topics every single morning. And instead of slogging through dense reports, you just drop them into a tool like Notebook LM, and it generates an instant podcast-style briefing for you. You're not just saving time here, you are fundamentally expanding your own mental bandwidth. Now we get to the next level, deploying your first AI employee. And this is where things get really powerful. You've got desktop agents that can organize all your files and manage reports across different apps. You can use tools like Gamma or GenSpark to build these technically dense, visually amazing presentations in seconds. Or, and this is wild, you can just describe a workflow in plain English to Zapier's AI and just watch it build the entire automation for you right there on the screen. All right, so that's the toolkit. But how do you go from just knowing about these tools to actually mastering the art of orchestration? Here's a super clear, actionable 4-week roadmap to make that transition feel totally achievable. Let's break it down. Okay, week 1, you just focus on the foundations. You master prompt engineering. But, and this is so critical, you have to practice on problems from your own industry, not some generic examples. Week 2, you learn how to give the AI tools. You connect its brain to APIs so it can actually do things. Week 3 is where it gets really fun. You start designing multi-agent systems where different AIs work together like a team. And finally, week 4, you bring it all home. You deploy an agent to solve a real-world problem in your specific area of expertise. And this brings me to what I think is the most important point in this whole explainer. Your biggest advantage in this new world, it isn't your ability to code. Your moat, your personal, unfair advantage, is all the domain expertise you already have. It's the stuff you know from doing your job. Look at how this table breaks it down. The AI researcher,
They know the theory, but they often can't build a real system that works in production. The software developer? Yeah, they know code, but that skill is getting automated faster and faster by AI. But you, the orchestrator, you understand the actual business problem. You get the context, the nuance, the real goal. That combination is what makes you irreplaceable.
So the bottom line is this. Basic coding is being automated away. But the ability to design intelligent systems that solve real problems, that is the skill of the future. The person who can bridge that gap between a business need and an AI solution, that's the person who's going to lead. Okay, so we've covered the what, the why, and the how. We've talked about the divide, the tools, the mindset. The only thing left to do now is to actually start building something. And here's your first assignment. Do not practice on generic toy problems. It's a total waste of time. I want you to pick one boring, repetitive, low-stakes task from your actual job, something you have to do every single week, and build a simple agent to automate it. The learning you get from solving a real problem, even a small one, is 10 times more valuable. And remember, the goal here is not perfection. You want to start with what are called low-precision tasks. These are the things where getting it 90% right is a huge win that saves you hours of work. Don't try to automate some high-stakes financial process on your first day. Start small. Have an agent draft your emails or summarize your research notes. That's how you build real, tangible momentum. I'll leave you with this final thought. There is a profound difference between being a consumer of AI and an architect of it. The future doesn't belong to the people who can just type a good prompt into a chatbot. It belongs to the people who can think with these systems, who can design, orchestrate, and deploy them to solve meaningful problems. The tools are here, the roadmap is clear, it's time to start building.